everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well today. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 10 favorite book covers. A lot of these that I will be mentioning today are books on my shelves that I bought solely because of the cover. I've read some of them and I've not read some of them. As you guys know, I am majoring in graphic design, so book covers are very important to me. You know, I'm not going to not buy a book based on the cover, but you know, sometimes they have to get really good recommendations before I do so. So these are just like my top 10 ones that I already own. I do have a couple that haven't been released yet that I will mention, but I've mentioned those in like my most anticipated releases. So that's kind of why I'm focusing on 10 that are actually on my shelves. That way these are already out. You don't have to wait like 5 months for them to come out. And maybe, you know, I'll do a follow-up video once I've read all of these that I mentioned and like talk about my thoughts. Like, were they good? And I do know that the authors have no say or little say in what their covers look like. It's typically between the publisher and the designer. So just because you may or may not like a cover does not follow the integrity of the story. We all know that. That's why we don't judge books by their covers, but we do because we're graphic designers, because people spend thousands of dollars and hours upon hours making them. So now that you know how much of a design nerd I am, let's get into it. I'm going to talk about two that are right in front of me. I just went to a book signing and got these, and I love the covers of them. So I went to the Epic Reads meetup with Rishi, I believe is how you pronounce her name. I wasn't there when she pronounced her name. This is I Hope You Get This Message. This is a sci-fi story following a group of 3 teenagers. One of them she did mention is a Muslim teenager. I believe there's LGBTQ representation. She signed it for me. So I'll kind of like stand here and do my typical thing where I kind of tell you as I'm reading what it's about. So Earth has been contacted by a planet named Alma. An alien entity is giving civilization only a few days before they kill the switch. One of the 3 teenagers' name is Jesse. They have never felt permanent in what they're doing. Not the guys he hooks up with, so LGBTQ representation. Not the jobs his underpaid mom works so hard to hold down. So financial struggling with, you know, that's nice to hear. Life has kind of just beat him around the bush. Kate, on the other hand, is desperate to use this time to find the father she's never met, the man she grew up hearing wild stories about, much of which she didn't believe. And then there's Adim Khan. While coding and computer programming have always come easy to him, forgiveness doesn't. He can't seem to forgive his sister for leaving, even though it's his last chance. With only 7 days to face their truths and right their wrongs, Jesse, Kate, and Adim's paths collide, even as their worlds are pulled apart. I don't love sci-fi, y'all know this, but when she was talking about her book and mentioned all the representation, and she was just so excited about it, it made me excited about it. And you know, after reading that synopsis, I think it's going to be a little bit more real world. Like, yes, there is sci-fi, but it's also going to focus around the 3 characters, and it's going to do a lot of character development, which is what I like. So that being said, this is a beautiful cover. Would I have picked it up on the synopsis alone? Probably not. But would I have picked it up because of the signing, because of the author, because of the cover, and because of the synopsis? Yes. And I did. So that is the first one. This one, however, the synopsis got me. Like, this one, I'm hook, line, sinker, and then the cover's just an added bonus. And that is Love Boat Taipei by Abigail Hing-Wen. Again, you know I'm terrible with names. I'm so sorry. I try my best. And I'll just kind of read you the synopsis, that way I don't miss anything. That way you get the full effect, you know what I'm saying? Whenever Wang's parents send her away for the summer, she's expecting Qian Tan, I believe is how it's pronounced, a strict educational immersion program in Taiwan. Instead, she finds the infamous Love Boat. There, Ever is surrounded by prodigies like Nick Wu, Chinese-American wonder boy, and longtime bane of her existence. Is this enemies to lovers? Oh my gosh, wait, I've kind of forgotten. Ever's roommate, the confident and clever Sophie Ha, as glamorous as she is sharp, and the intimidatingly cool Xavier Ye, heir to an international tech empire. But her classmates are more interested in the non-stop Taipei nightlife than anything to do with the curriculum. Hookups abound, snake blood flows. Snake blood? Oh, snake blood sake flows. What? I don't know what that means. And adult supervision is non-existent. For the first time ever, Ever is discovering what freedom tastes like, and it's exhilarating. So this is kind of following a study abroad type program, but then they're not really studying abroad, and it follows a friend group. I think I really like friend groups in books. I didn't know that, but this one, the cover again is just gorgeous. Hello. And she also had like stickers at her signing, and she signed this too, obviously. And a little bit about the author, she's like a data analyst, I believe she said, which is like super cool. She's super smart and super sweet. So those are the two that I got from the signing that are going in this category. I did go get Infinity Sun as well. I met Adam Silvera, picture here, but I don't love the cover. So one that I've already read and really enjoyed, but it was definitely a cover decision, was Autobiography. I think the colors in this are gorgeous. I think I rated this 4 or 5 stars. This follows our main character, Tanner. Tanner is a gay teen. I believe he was either gay or bi. He's part of the LGBTQ community, but I believe he was gay. And he lived in California. He was out in California. He was having a great time. And then his family moved to Utah, little Mormon Utah, like a really Mormon city in Utah. And so he's kind of back in the closet now. And he's at this school, and I think he really loves writing. And one of his friends encouraged him to take this like writing seminar class where they have to like write a book. And somebody who graduated from the program comes back and gives a little lecture about like how to be successful with this book, and his name is Sebastian. And this is about Tanner and Sebastian. Sebastian is like really into his Mormon beliefs and things like that, and so it's kind of the battle of an LGBTQ plus relationship with also the idea of religion tied in. One book I've talked quite a bit about on my channel is With the Fire on High. My favorite thing about this cover is actually the naked cover. I never see naked covers that have a beautiful pattern like that, at least in the books that I've read. I've talked a lot about this book on my channel, so I don't want to like bore you, but Amani is a teen mom raised by her abuela, and she has a passion for cooking, and it's her in her senior year trying to manage her life as a mom, her life as a teen, and her life as a student, and her life as a chef, and what she wants to do with that in the future. One that I still have not read that I love the cover of is The Astonishing Color of After. It's a hard-hitting contemporary. Y'all are tired of hearing me talk about this on my channel. I'm gonna try and still read it this month. It's still January. We're still gonna try and read it this month, fingers crossed. Another book on my January TBR is Frankly in Love by David Yoon. This has, I believe, Korean American representation, and Frank is trying to manage the life of his American culture side of him and then the Korean culture side of him, and like how to blend those two worlds together as he is falling in love with an American girl, I believe, but his parents want him to settle down with a Korean girl. So it's like following, do I go with my family's traditional values or do I go with my heart? I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter. This is one that I picked based on the cover. I love illustrative covers like this where they like draw people, but it's not a photo of a person. But I also really picked it on the title. Julia is definitely not your perfect Mexican daughter. She has dreams of being a writer, and she refuses to allow her family's expectations to derail her plans. Kind of contrasting to Frank, like he's trying to debate whether he wants, you know, to follow his family's dreams for him. Julia doesn't think so. Olga is Julia's older sister who was the perfect Mexican daughter. She went to community college, worked a part-time job, took care of her parents until her accident left her dead and eternally perfect. Connor's a white boy from Evanston who can't possibly understand Julia's world but wants to be a part of it anyway. Angie's Olga's best friend who lets slip that there might have been more to Olga than everyone thought. Lorena is Julia's best friend and polar opposite. She doesn't believe that Olga could have kept any secrets, but she'll stick with Julia along the way. And seriously, how on earth can Julia fall in love or find truth under the never blinking eyes of her parents? Ooh! Next up is Always Never Yours by Emily Wibberley and Austin Siegmund Broca. I love the typography on this. I think it's amazing. I love a good script brush font. And this is kind of like an unrequited love story. Like, reminds me a little bit of the upside of Unrequited. Every guy she dates fall madly in love, just not with her, is what this little thing says here. Unrequited love. I think this is a good trope. I really like that trope. I am gonna hit you guys with a very popular opinion, and that is Rainbow Rowell's Carry On. I think this cover is beautiful. Typically I don't like illustrations of fantasy characters on the cover because then you're like, I don't know, like in fantasies I tend to like to imagine what they look like and you're kind of just given it here. However, I think the illustration is done really nicely, and then you were the sun and I was crashing into you. Like, I love that. And then I think there was a map or something in this that's really pretty. Yeah. See, I just love things like that. And I also really like this color scheme that they've got going on the inside. Then I have We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. I am so sorry, guys. I try my best. I really do. I can't even pronounce Smith sometimes. This is the Owl Crate exclusive edition, so this is in silver. The normal one is in gold, I believe. But I think this is a really cool color scheme that they've used. So they've used, I believe these are complementary colors. I think blue and yellow are complementary colors. And so it provides a really nice contrast. If we're getting into art theory here, it provides a really nice contrast. Also, they used cool tones across this, so you're seeing a lot of cool tones, and then she kind of blends in because she's got a cooler toned look, I guess. But I also think it's really interesting how they've got a little bit more detail done up here, and then down here it's just kind of like watercolor type drops, like you drop the watercolor. I don't know. And then the back, like this pattern and stuff, is beautiful. I've seen this in a lot of non-Western art. They've got these really cool patterns, and I think those patterns are really beautiful. And last but certainly not least, I have Serpent and Dove by Shelby Marin. I think the texture on this snake is so cool. They've kind of embossed it, and then also it looks really cool in my light. Like, it looks like it's literally like actual gold gleaming, and I think that's so cool. So that is all of the books that I've pretty much bought based solely on the cover. I know a little bit about the synopsis of some of them, just because I've learned over time, but predominantly those were cover buys. The 3 that aren't released yet that I was going to talk about are the gilded ones. I talked about these in my most anticipated releases, so I'm not going to go super into them. I believe it's called Sun Summoner. I don't have it right in front of me. I'm so sorry. Sun Summoner, I think, is the name. And then Forest of Souls, I believe. The correct pictures are here, and they have the correct titles on them. I think those covers were gorgeous. And I don't know what any of those are about, but I'm gonna pick them up because I'm excited about the covers. And that is what a good cover design will do for your book. So that being said, that's pretty much everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one. Don't forget, don't judge a book by its cover, just appreciate the designer who made them.